I did a mock draft today. This is my baby.
The Detroit Lions select.
And it was fun. I had a good
That's why
time.
it's called Raising Kid.
So let's start. Let's throw that up there.
No one can raise you.
In the first round, I had Brad Holmes doing what I think he's going to do, which is trade up and get his guy to pair next to Aiden Hutchinson for the next 5 seasons. I had Brad Holmes trading up and getting Mykel Williams out of Georgia.
The Detroit Lions select.
No, you didn't say where you traded up to.
Moved up to 25.
Okay.
So he moved up from 28 to 25. Because I was trying to hold out as long as I could, and then Shamar Stewart went, and then Pierce went.
Yeah, it's like that.
And it was like boom, boom. It was like Shamar Stewart, Pierce, Scorton. I was like, oh, fuck. All right, so I traded. I got to 25, got Mykel Williams, brought him in here. That is a guy that you're going to pair next to Aiden Hutchinson for a long time. They like him. They've talked about him. And I think that would be a good pairing on this defensive line. And then in the second round, the Detroit Lions drafted number 60 overall, Femi Oludejo.
The Detroit Lions select.
Brad Holmes does what he does. He doubles up on positions that he thinks he can get the best value at and that are the deepest in this draft. You look at last year, extremely deep draft for defensive backs. Brad Holmes had to rebuild his secondary. He moved around and he got 2 of his favorite defensive backs in that draft. This year, this is a very deep draft when you look at the edge rushers and the defensive linemen. Brad Holmes knows that he needs to fill some holes on that position, needs to bring in some upper echelon talent in that position. And so he got Femi there at 60 to bring in here. Like Ennis Rakestraw and Terrion Arnold, you would expect Mykel Williams to be the starter or the guy that sees the brunt of the snaps at that position. And then you've got Femi to learn more, get into his body, figure out what he's going to be in the NFL. A versatile guy. You can move him around. He can play linebacker. He can play that Sam role. If Derek Barnes needs to be spelled, he can play obviously just straight up rusher at the edge position. They like him. They want him. They've already talked to him per Jeff Risdon. They've like him a lot. I think this is a guy you could get at 60, and this is a guy that has a lot of upside as a pass rusher and a versatile player in the NFL.
I like it. I like Femi. I was just discussed him as a product. I feel like he could maybe be like a round 3 guy at 102, but at pick 60, I still don't hate it. I like what I watched on tape just briefly just now.
Yeah, and I think that he fits what Brad Holmes likes when it comes to high upside, freak of nature talent, guy that you can move around. He's very versatile. And then, I think he'll fit well. And then at number 3, in that third pick for the Detroit Lions was that number 102. That is the comp pick they got for Aaron Glenn moving on. I have them taking Miles Frazier. He's an interior offensive lineman out of LSU. This is a guy that's played a lot of ball. This is a guy kind of like Christian Mahogany who would be ready to go and step in immediately and be a player in the NFL. I don't know if the Lions are going to use him like that or need to use him like that, but he is a 6'6", 317-pound offensive lineman out of LSU. He's played – where was it? Let me find it. So I starting 39 games over 3 seasons while bouncing to right guard for 28 starts, left guard for 9 starts, and even getting some starts at right tackle. This is going to be your Swiss Army knife on that offensive line going forward. You don't know what you're going to do with Glasgow. You don't know what you're doing with things like there. This is a guy who can play any position on the offensive line, basically. And he's done it very well at a very high level for a long time in college football. I think he would step in immediately and make some things happen. Like I said, he's 6'6", 317 pounds. He's got a 31-inch vertical and a 10-foot broad jump. So this is a damn good athlete.
Damn, son.
So I think he fits what the Lions would look for on that interior offensive line, and it brings in a guy, like I said, that would be able to play immediately if needed.
In ancient Roman culture, there was indeed a ceremonial act involving physically picking up a newborn child to signify acceptance and approval by the father.
All right, raise your children. Next up on this mock draft, I had them going big, big, and big to start it off, and then with their 4th pick, I had them grabbing Jalen Reed, the safety out of Penn State. Obviously, you lost Iffy. You lost Brandon Joseph in that back end of the defensive secondary. You don't really know what you're doing at the safety spot. And this guy, Jalen Reed, he's a playmaker. He's a Detroit native. He's 6 foot, about 215 pounds, has a 1.51 10-yard split, which is extremely impressive. He has closing speed. He has playmaking speed on the ball. Like I said, I think he went to King. This is a guy who's been around. He played very well at Penn State. So I expect him to go out there and to be that kind of third safety, use him in that same role you like to use Iffy. Not as much of a playmaker as Iffy, but you need someone to shore up that safety spot, losing Brandon Joseph and Iffy. So I think this would be a good pick for the Lions. Bringing in a Detroit guy, it's not just that he's a Detroit guy. Like, he has great instincts downhill, getting into the rushing game, blowing up screen passes, doing things like that. He sees the ball well. He gets to the ball well. As a guy you can use on special teams, you can use him around the defense. I think that would be a good fit for the Lions defense.
Yeah, we definitely need some safety depth for sure.
And then after that, the next pick, the fourth pick of this mock draft, I got another guy that he's just got an insane amount of potential. And that is Nick Mash, the wide receiver from San Jose State. He's 6'2". He's not the fastest guy in the world. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he won the Triple Crown last year in college football. Most catches, most receiving yards, most touchdowns. This is an impressive guy. He's a fantastic route runner. He's good after he gets the ball in his hands. He's good high pointing the ball and attacking the ball at the point of attack. Nick Nash. I said Nick Nash. He's going to go out there, like I said, 6'2", about 210 pounds. Not the fastest guy. He runs like a 4.5, but he's as solid as it comes. And I think he would fit Goff's kind of play style perfectly. He would be a good replacement for Tim Patrick if they decide to move on from Tim Patrick after next season. And my thought process is you should draft a wide receiver every single year in the NFL draft. And Nick Nash is going to be a guy that could – I don't know if he'll go this high. I don't know if his spot is so weird because the production is there, the ability is there, but he doesn't really have all the elite measurables that you're looking at wide receiver in the NFL. But he knows how to get open. He's sure-handed. And like I said, he's good once he has the ball in his hands. I think he'd fit the Lions' offensive scheme very well. He's also a good downfield blocker, and you know what they like about that.
Yeah, I'm not familiar, but I will get familiar.
And then next up, my final pick in this mock draft, I got a big fella, Nazir Stackhouse from Georgia.
I like him big.
This guy is multi likes him, 6'4", 330 pounds. Just
and his last name Stackhouse on top of that?
Dude.
Come on,
just
son.
An absolute unit, defensive tackle out of Georgia. This is not a guy that you're going to come in here and expect to be, the second coming of Jordan Davis or anything like that. But he was basically a 4-star recruit coming out of high school. Big body dude. He can block the run. He can stop the run. Can make a lot of plays in there. He's not going to be this life-changing defensive tackle, but I think like in that Broderick Martin role, you're looking at Nick Lopez, DJ Reader, Broderick Martin, all of them. You don't know what their future is going to be for this team. I think you bring in a guy like that would be a good rotational piece eventually in his career. Like, he's got a lot of games played. He's got over 1,500 snaps played in college football, so he knows what he's been doing. He's been at Georgia for a while. He is a national champion. I think that it'd be a good piece to he is solid. He's what you know he is, and to be that in I think it was the 6th round I got him. I think that would be a good piece to bring in for your defensive line.
Zink Nash guy looks like a San Jose St. Brown.
Yeah, that's literally what he gets open, he makes the catch, and he makes things happen once he has the ball in his hands. Like I said, he's not the super athlete. He's not going to flash you off but
he's got touchdown throwing his resume like Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yeah, he was. I think he was a quarterback.
Nice.
So what did it take to go up and get
maybe?
Williams in the first?
I think it was like a 6th round pick. I think it was one of the 6th round picks in this year's draft.
Oh yeah, because only had 3 picks.
Yeah,
that ain't bad.
Probably, yeah.
I like because I'm obviously more familiar with the first 3 picks than I am anybody else. I like the picks. I feel like just based off mock drafts, and this may not be the case in a real life draft, you could say they're overreaches, but you never know how the draft's going to go. You may have to make those moves then and there.
Yep.
And I like all those guys. So even if you did overdraft them, if you have conviction in those players, and Brad speaks on his conviction, he's going to get the guy.
Yeah, I think so.
Right there with you, Easy. That's where I'm at. I think it was just reach compared to where they're projected right now. But like you said, you never know what's going to go down in the draft. I would take a swing at somebody else at 2 and then go up and get Femi in the 3rd because it wouldn't take as much. Yeah.
And he was off the board every time it got to the 3rd round pick.
Yep. So that's why I would, go up in the 3rd. But this is all speculation. But I do like this draft a lot. I would be extremely hype if we upgrade our defensive line, O-line, and got that safety late in the 4th.
I also had to I also had to look at the draft to change the sliders because I don't know if this is a thing or if he's falling or something, but Kenneth Grant was there for me 3 times at 28. I was like, There's no fucking. I didn't even draft him because I was like, it's not even realistic, right?
Kenneth Grant at where?
There's no way he's gonna be there at 28, right? Because I like heard thoughts of him sliding, but I don't know about sliding that far.
I've not 28, but I've seen some to 20s.
Yeah.
I've seen a few of those. So maybe. No way. Not the 28. Not a fucking chance. Gotta be honest with you.
Yeah.
Not a chance he's falling 28. Maybe the 20, and then you just pick up the phone, baby.
Pick up the phone, baby.
And figure out something from there.
I would love Kenneth Grant if you could get him around there. I just think he's.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way he's getting past 20 even, honestly.
And again, I think, at least for me, I don't know about everybody else, but Daniel Jeremiah, when he does his mocks, I pay attention. And some of those names, Mikael Williams, Shamar Stewart, they're falling down that board. Yeah, I'll jump to 20 and grab that guy if he's there all day.
Yeah.
Especially because like beyond like a BPA situation, also a need.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. I approve.
Thank you.
I approve of your mock child.
Thank you.